Emisiune prezentată de Aqua Carpatica.
Looking back right now on the album, there is something that you would like go back and change, like you are not satisfied 100% and listening right now you can say, this track, maybe I should do this.
Not really. I mean, we rehearsed this album a couple of times now since we're doing these kind of shows. And I have to say, I wouldn't go back and change anything. I think it represents exactly where we were at the time. And it's still very... we stand behind it 100%. It's still very Katatonia.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about this, the remake of the Dead End Kings, right? You made this acoustic album made by crowdfunding through Pledge of Music. What's your opinion on this? And were you happy with the result, the fan reaction? And is it a solution for the future doing this worldwide, not only for you?
Well, yeah, it proves that it can be done that way. It's interesting that you don't need to go the traditional route, like just, with a label. You can actually have the fans fund your project because it shows that they stand behind you. And that's exactly what happened with this project, because our label didn't really at first believe in the idea. But when the label actually saw the potential, they saw that the fans were actually there wanting this to happen, and they also, when they heard it, they of course were, they changed their mind and said it's a beautiful idea, it's a great thing, and we need to, release it. Whatever we do, of course, and we always said that we won't release an album if we weren't 100% happy, and we have to stand by it, of course. So they should really, take a step back and just let us do our thing and do. Yeah, exactly. So. But I think we have reached that point now where they really put, the trust in us, and we're allowed to experiment. And if they could choose at this point, they would probably want us to make that again, another acoustic album. But that's taking away from that album. I think this album is very special for us now, and it's unique. It should be treated like that. So we shouldn't do this on every album. It's not the way to go now.
I want to ask, with so many record stores closing, the lack of CD sales, what do you think the future of the music industry will be? So how can a band survive nowadays? Maybe your band.
By touring and playing live, I think. But also, if you release good enough records, I think people will buy them still. I buy loads of music, we all do. Both CD, vinyl, stuff like that. So I think the music industry will still need the analog format, but do a good enough record and people will buy it.
Let's go back to Katatonia a little bit. I want to ask about Sanctitude. You just redone the whole, reorchestrated some songs for this show in London, and you had also to change a little bit the instruments there. You to have an acoustic bass, an acoustic guitar, as well, no drum kit or some percussions. How long it took to make this show possible?
I think we rehearsed intensely for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. We worked with another guitarist at the time from UK, Bruce Sword, who's also been involved in some mixing work with us. And he just came up to Sweden, and we sat down in our rehearsal room with him, and just knocked everything out and rearranged everything as good as we could. We tried to make it really, that was the plan, to make it simple. We didn't try to complicate it more than it was necessary. So we tried to strip the songs down and just recolor them again with an acoustic vibe, basically.
Emisiune prezentată de Aqua Carpatica.